I don't know. It's weird for me because it's like, oh wow, this isn't like teenagers, trying to get high and whatever and just acting silly. It's like, I'm gonna go into a shop and buy weed like I would.
Coffee.
There's a certain connoisseurship, right?
Yeah,
You're like, okay, so it's sativa strain, da 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 da.
Yeah,
like,
bud,
can you advise me
them?
on what the
They're called bud tenders.
Right?
Bud
Okay.
tenders.
Bud tenders.
Fuck that portmanteau. But
I mean, honestly, I just like getting high. I think weed nerds are fucking virgins. Like, I don't understand.
well, right, that was my,
I'm trying to tell you about. Okay, so here's the. And I'm like.
But that's the one thing that you're not really allowed to do, or to want to do, is just to get fucked up. You can't just want to get high.
No, I love
There has to be an instrumentality to it.
Yeah,
These rules don't apply
to be a form of conspicuous consumption.
Yeah.
I know. I'm disagreeing with ideology as if he was telling me. If he was telling me to subscribe to it.
Yeah, or like
I'm high.
when people disagree with like generalization, it's like it's a generalization. It doesn't apply to everyone all the time.
Right.
Calm down. Maybe getting at, I don't know if that.
Most people are.
Not that I'm like.
No, you're talking about the mass sedation.
It's that because it's the thing of like going through your regular day and you can go through highways. I'm not going through my day.
Yeah, you're not getting fucked
I'm an
up.
alcoholic then because it's like that's crazy.
Here's the other thing that I think that touches on this thing of drugs as self-medication under like capitalism. And like this idea like.
Well, and people get to do that and feel like, well, I don't have an opioid addiction.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's not just that. I mean,
and also, like, I don't have emotional difficulties with people because I'm not really feeling anything.
Well, stuff like weed or psychedelics or even like benzos or whatever, and the fact that like, it's not like you said, like teenagers getting fucked up to have fun and have like a totally abnormal experience. It's like, oh, this is part of my day. I come home and smoke a bowl and like pop some pills, or even like before they have to like go out to the store or something. It's just like it's something they do to get through the day.
It's like lubricating, and so like we're taking this out of British people, like lubricating every social interaction with alcohol because you can't interact without it. I'm actually okay with that. But weed is like just
also,
lubricate
you're
all
all
the
doing it together.
You're doing it together.
It is a social lubricant.
I mean, we could also think, the age of riot and the age of depression actually happening at the same moment. Right. So you have something like a long crisis, right, where the crisis is just, it seems long. It is basically like a period in it. Like it's a period in itself. It's not even like a break in between two things. The like length of time that it actually like continues actually itself like constitutes what we would generally normally like think of as a period. So it seems as though you like almost can't get out of this kind of continual form of like rupture and.
No, right, and in fact the vulnerability, the atomization that we've already spoken about in relation to how depression flows in, I guess, at a period in which there's people are more atomized, they're not involved in organizations. There's a depoliticization that the acceleration of crises. And entering into an age of turbulence, which seems at least politically more fruitful, more potentially productive, more propitious for us, can also be an era in which people feel even more vulnerable, and I guess transforming that into some productive action rather than kind of an abject position in relation to this crazy flux of the modern world, which we can't intrude upon anymore. I think that's the challenge.
Well, what do you do when crisis is normalized then for you? When you describe that period, then it's the norm. Then you have like never-ending crisis, and a state of emergency means that you have the lifting of all laws and norms and constitutional crisis. But maybe that's but to say that that's a period and a rupture between two periods of norms actually is self-contradictory, Thomas, because what you're saying is this destabilization is our new norm.
Isn't it though?
Yeah, it could be. But then what is another name for it? If it's like prolonged crisis, then I'm
looking at this thing from Strake, but he just calls it like a long period of systemic disintegration. So this is something that
Let's have more on what you think on that Street quote, because I love it. So maybe you can tell us a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll.